Here are 7 steps you need to master in order to transform your serve. Now, step 1 is a correct grip. You need to ensure your index knuckle and heel pad is placed on what we call the continental. Now, for some of you that are not aware of the grips and the bevel system, every racket will have 8 bevels on the racket. Now, for a right-handed player, the top bevel, which will line up with the edge of the frame, that is bevel 1. And now going in a clockwise manner, it goes bevel 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So there's 8 bevels. Now the bevel which you need to be conscious of for the serve is bevel 2. So it's this right side here, which is on the right side to the top bevel, which is bevel 1. That's the continental. Now we've established where the continental grip is. The other 2 reference points you've got to be aware of is the reference points on your hand. So for this, there are 2. The first reference point is your index knuckle. The second is your heel pad. And what I would like you to do when you are working on the grip, you can physically draw in an X on your index knuckle and draw in an X on the middle part of the heel pad here. And then you just connect the 2 X's with a line. Now you have your reference points. Now that you have the 2 reference points on your hand clearly lined out, all you've got to do is connect the dots. You connect the reference points on your hand up with the dots and lines on bevel 2 on the grip, and there you have the continental grip. Step 2 is all about your ball toss. Now, it doesn't matter how good your mechanics are. If you're not able to put the ball in the right place consistently, everything else will break down. Now, some of the keys for a consistent ball toss. The first thing you need is a straight toss arm. Very, very important, because now you're eliminating the other 2 possible moving joints, which would be your wrist and your elbow. So as soon as you straighten this out, you now have 1 unit of which you can now lift from the shoulder in one smooth manner. The next step for a consistent ball toss, start in a low and relaxed position. So if you look from the side angle, you can see that when I'm in my starting position, the hand, the tossing hand, is very close to my knee. It's nice and low and relaxed. Now from here, facing the court, I'm going to lift the tossing arm from the shoulder and I'm going to lift to the release point. Now when you're releasing the ball, you want to release at approximately eye level. After you release, you continue to lift up to a good high finish position. That's the key for a consistent ball toss. Let me just show you one here. So toss and hold. So now you're able to develop consistency with the ball toss, but the question is, where should the ball toss be? The optimal contact point, looking from the back angle, will be, for a right-handed player, in line with your right hip and shoulder, and also looking from the side angle, if I come back a little bit here, the contact should also be around 2 to 3 feet inside the court there. So from the back, it's in line with right hip and shoulder. From the side, 2 to 3 feet inside the court. That's the optimal contact point. Step 3 is all about your right to left arm action. This is talking for a right-handed player. For a left-handed player, same thing applies. It's just going to be going in reverse. Now, what is the right to left? The right to left is something you'll see with all the best players, and that is, at some point they all get to this position here, which is what we refer as the half serve position. Tip of the racket points to what would be the right side fence, elbow just below shoulder level. Also looking from the side angle, see how the elbow, this is very important. Many players have this look here where the elbow dips in too close, or they have the opposite effect where the elbow goes too high. So just ensure when you are in the half serve, the elbow is just below shoulder level approximately, okay, in that range. Now from here, you're gonna begin to bend at the elbow. When you bend at the elbow, it's going to initiate this right to left arm action. Now to simplify and boil it down to make it as easy as possible, you just want to see this look where the tip of the racket starts off pointing to the right side fence, you bend at the elbow, and now it points to the left side fence. Now when this is happening, also pay close attention to, I bend at the elbow, the racket begins the right to left. As the racket now passes my head, my elbow leads, racket goes down and away. So just work on this right to left. Step 4 is all about your racket drop position. This is the major power position on the serve. Now what does the racket drop look like? After you've completed your right to left action, the racket will now begin to fall down and away from your body, and then you enter this racket drop right here. Now in this position, what do you see? You see tip of the racket is low in relation to my body. The next thing you see, my elbow is leading out in front. Elbow is approximately at ear level. My hand is low in relation to my elbow. The hand is not too high. My hand is nice and low. And the other key, the racket is aligned on the right side of my body. Now, why is this position so important? As soon as you get into this dynamic racket drop position, you pre-stretch the front part of your shoulder and chest muscles. And when you pre-stretch your muscles, it's like an elastic band. You store energy, and when that energy is released, there's your racket head speed on the serve. And we all know the more racket head speed you can generate, the more power you're going to get. Now let's move on to step 5, which is all about leading with the edge of your racket up to contact. This personally was one of the hardest concepts for me to master when I was working on my serve. But in general terms, what this means, from your racket drop position, so from step 4, you'll extend from the tricep, but as you begin to extend, your arm is going to straighten, but look at the edge of my racket. The edge of the racket is going to lead up to contact, and it's going to lead until the very last second. And then just before contact, I'm going to pronate the forearm to square my racket to the ball. This leading with the edge is vitally important for your serve. Step 6 is about the follow through on the serve. So now we've covered the whole motion up until contact. It's very important now that you do everything correctly after contact. Now to do this, this is often what you hear a lot of coaches talk about, pronation on the serve. From contact, what you're going to see, the forearm will continue to pronate, but also you're going to internally rotate the shoulder to where my palm and strings for a right-handed player is pointing to the right side fence. You want to get this look here. Now, the degree of how much you can internally rotate and turn the palm and strings out will all depend on your flexibility. Even if you just get it to somewhere, say here, so it's not as extreme as there, that's okay. But the keys you want to avoid here on the follow through, when you get to contact, you want to avoid just pulling down straight. You want to ensure that you turn the palm and strings out to the right, and then looking from the back angle, the follow through should go out on the right side of the body for a right-handed player. Same applies for a left-handed, it's just going to be on the left side of the body. So look at that again. So I go up to contact, turn the palm string to the right, and I follow through on the right side. And then as I get lower down, it's going to naturally cut across to the left. That's the follow through. The final and 7th step to develop a great serve is all about keeping your head still and keeping your toss and arm tucked in throughout the follow through, which is going to give you more consistency. Now what I mean by this, if I just show you and demonstrate it, when you go from the racket drop up to contact, already at this point your head and your gaze is looking up towards where you're going to be striking the ball. Now the common issue we see with a lot of club players, after they hit the ball, they quickly shift their head and they start to look to where the ball is going. This is really going to be detrimental for your serve, because wherever your head goes, the swing is going to follow. So if you pull your head, the swing is also going to pull down, and it's going to be very difficult to be consistent with that serve. So what you want to see instead, they call it the quiet eye technique, and that essentially means when you swing through contact, you keep your head still and your eyes and your gaze up towards contact. And in the beginning, you don't even look where the ball goes. That's with the head. Now, the second principle you got to master for this, look at my toss arm. I toss up. Now, as I begin to move the racket over my head, and when the elbow, hidden elbow, begins to lead, my non-hidden elbow is going to begin to come down and tuck into my body. So as my hidden elbow leads, my non-hidden elbow tucks. Now, when you tuck the non-hidden elbow, the toss arm, when you tuck it into the body, you're essentially posting the non-hidden side of the body. What does that mean? That means that you're stopping the rotation just before contact of the non-hidden side. And this now acts as a whip effect. When you stop the non-hidden side, the hidden side can now accelerate around contact at a faster rate. Now the other key with keeping the toss knob tucked into your body, it prevents you from opening up and over-rotating. And that's a major issue on the serve. So for the 7th step, just focus on keeping your head still around contact, keeping the eyes up towards and your gaze up towards contact, and keeping the toss knob tucked in until you complete the serve. So there you have it, the 7 steps to transforming your serve. Let's quickly review these steps together. Step 1, all about your grip. Make sure you're on the true continental. Step 2, develop a consistent and clean ball toss. Step 3, get that good right to left arm action. Step 4, get into the all-important racket drop position, the power position. Step 5, you then lead with the edge of the racket up to contact. Step 6, you get good follow through by pronating the forearm and internally rotating the shoulder. And then step 7, which is the final step, you keep your head still and keep the toss knob tucked into the body to give you also consistency along with that effortless power. So if you did enjoy this video, please go ahead, give us a thumbs up. Also comment anything you have below if you have any questions. And also please subscribe to our channel for more videos like this in the future.
How would you like to get your own personalized video analysis from a certified OTI instructor? That is exactly what the Premium All Access Pass is for. With the Premium All Access Pass, you not only get the video reviews, but you also get access to all of our video courses and modules. These courses and modules cover every topic you need as a tennis player, so you can become that complete player that dominates on the tennis court. Right now we have a special trial for you that includes all of these video modules and courses, but also your very own personalized video analysis from our OTI instructor. To find out more about this special trial, please click the link either inside this video or below it right now.